Hi everyone, my name's Abby Pierce and my presentation this week is on the consonants T, D, and the tap consonant. I will be explaining what each of these are, where they occur, and the place, manner, and voicing of each. Before we jump into each individual consonant, I want to go over what each of the terms mean. First, the place or place of articulation is the point of contact in the vocal tract where an obstruction occurs. Manner or manner of articulation is the way that the airstream is affected as it flows out of the mouth and nose. And voicing is whether or not the vocal cords are vibrating when the sound is being produced. When they are, this is called a voiced sound or a voiced consonant, and when they are not, it is unvoiced. Okay, so the first consonant that we're going to talk about is the T or the T consonant. Firstly, the place of articulation is alveolar, and what this means is that the blade of the tongue makes contact with the alveolar ridge when we're producing the T sound. Next, the manner of articulation is a stop, and that means that the airflow is stopped when producing this sound or this phoneme. And lastly, this is a voiceless aspirated consonant, and some examples of words that are transcribed using the T consonant are touch, troll, and tram. And you can hear that when you are saying those words. The next consonant I'm going to go over is the D or the D consonant. Similarly to the T consonant, the place of articulation is alveolar and the manner of articulation is stop. The D consonant is also aspirated, but unlike T, it is voiced, meaning that the vocal cords vibrate when producing the sound. And you can hear that when you differentiate duh, 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 and t, t, t. Like you can hear that your vocal cords aren't vibrating. And some examples that use D in transcription are dad, doc, and do. The last consonant and phoneme that we're going to go over is the tap consonant. Some example words for this are battle, coddle, and ladder. So it's the duh in the middle of those words. The place of articulation for the tap consonant is alveolar, just like ta and da. And the manner of articulation is also a stop, and it is a voiced consonant as well. So something to keep in mind when using t and da in transcription is that when transcribing the morpheme ed, the consonant t is used in some occasions and d is used in others. Some examples of when d is used is in the words crowned, teamed, and hogged. And the letter T is used when transcribing the words taped, hiked, and lacked. And you should be able to hear these differences when sounding out those words at the end. Instead of the crowned, you have taped, and that's more of a T sound than the crowned, which would be a D. Minimal pairs are words that differ by only one phoneme. And examples of minimal pairs for T and D are tie and die, send and sent, feet and feed, and sat and sad. And you can hear that the sat is aspirated and the sad is also aspirated, but the duh at the end of sad is voiced, in contrary to sat. And lastly, I have some questions. Firstly, what is different about producing the consonants t and da? And then, what is an example of a word that uses a tap consonant? And lastly, would labiodental be an example of place of articulation or manner of articulation? So that's all I have. Thank you for listening to my presentation this week. Bye-bye.